Meantime, we have Soul Blazer Randomizer by Sir Linkalot. Sir Linkalot, take it away, my friend.
Hey everyone, yeah, we're going to be running Soul Blazer Randomizer. My name's Sir Linkalot. I'm joined today by Kapitein, and Queen Anne B is going to be doing some tracking for us as well. But how are you doing, Kapitein?
Hi, Link a lot. I'm fine, thank you. Hi, I'm Captain. I'm going to be commentating on this run, and hopefully it's going to be a very, very fun run.
Somebody doesn't want me to run though, apparently, because red mages no run. I know Jack did that because he hates that my red mages always run. But all right, we'll go ahead and get started right away. I know we're a little bit behind, so we'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully, make up that time. We'll see what the randomizer decides to do. Time's gonna start as soon as I hit end, so I'll start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Link.
So already a good thing to know is Link is taking one for the team because he just had to fill in one of the names for an incentive. Usually when you play this randomizer, you only want to use one character, like just A or B or whatever you want. Because there are a lot of text boxes, so every frame you add, because you add some characters, is a time loss, and it can really add up at the end. What you will be seeing in this run, for people who don't know Soul Blazer, it's one of the Quintet games for the Super Nintendo, and it features a lot of fighting. It's an action game, as you can see. There are a lot of monster lairs you can kill. What you want to do is unlock a lot of NPCs, unlock a lot of lairs. They will either guide you through the area you're in, or will unlock NPCs so you can get further into different acts.
Yeah, normally the game's pretty linear. Hey, look at that,
Wow.
we got a red hot stick already.
Yeah, the game is extremely linear if you don't play it in randomizer mode. What you do see is every randomizer you do in Soul Blazer is featuring this first couple of checks, first couple of items, NPC runs. Wow.
Alright, cool. I will take Spirit Sword.
Yeah, what you want to do in here is, yeah, someone in chat also mentioning Gaia, Actraiser. Well, actually, it's also Terranigma. Like the official, unofficial Quinta trilogy is Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, or Illusion of Time if you're from Europe like me. And you have Terranigma, but you have more games from the Quinta company. And the Soul Blazer, what you want to do in the randomizer, like if you play this vanilla, you have a boss at the end of every act. You have a different area as called acts in this game. And if you kill the boss, you unlock a certain NPC. Okay. And if you unlock the NPC, you talk to that person, or animal, or tree, and then you can head over to the next act. And basically, you just do that until you get to the last act, and you get a stone from each of those NPCs. And then if you have 6 stones, because if we have 6 acts to work through, and then you can unlock Act 7, which is the World of Evil. But in the randomizer, what you can do is you unlock NPCs from different acts. We already saw one of the big main NPCs you need to unlock is the Queen. It's one of the NPCs in Act 3. And because Linkalot already unlocked her, once he gets to Act 3, if he talks to the Queen, he can immediately open up a way to Act 4. And basically what we're looking for right now is also a way of getting out of Act 1, so we do expect to see the main NPC of Act 1 from a monster lair very soon. Oh my god.
Alright.
Okay,
I
so
guess since we have 2 of those, we might want to explain those right now, because since we're like, alright,
yeah, we are getting a lot of good things early in the run. So you already saw 2 red hot items, red hot stick, red hot ball. You also have the red hot mirror. What those items do is you need 3 of those items, 3 red hot items, to be able to talk to one of the NPCs. And if you unlock that certain NPC, he's one of the kings in this game, along with his 2 awesome grandma sidekicks. if you have unlocked those NPCs and got those 3 red hot items, you are able to actually summon the castle where the final boss is hiding. So before you can go into Act 7 if you have all of those 6 zones we mentioned, but if you have the 3 red hot items, you can actually summon the last lair basically in Act 7. Also, we just found the NPC we need to get out of Act 1. And since I believe we didn't find any progression of going anywhere further in Act 1, the one we are right now, we have to go to Act 2.
No bridge guard, no watermill keeper. Nothing like that. So, yep, we are off to Act 2.
Yeah, it's very straightforward for now.
Do we have a moment for me to read a donation that came in?
Yeah.
So we have a $25 donation from Autumn Out of Habit, which says 10 to Swordless and 15 to kill the animals in SMZ 3. So I believe that puts killing the animals to $30 compared to saves, I believe, 115. And the Swordless incentive is now at $50 out of 60.
So we're in Act 2, and this is one of the acts that can be very tough at the beginning, because usually you don't have a lot of good sword upgrades. You don't have armor, and in this case, I believe we don't have sword or armor upgrades. And these enemies can hit hard because you got here with level 2, I think. So it can be very scary. The good thing is that Sir Linkalot found one of the items not necessary to beat the game, but very, very handy. Oh no, wait! Of course, you found a spirit sword. You can hit them. But if you have the super bracelet on, it's like I said, one of the items you don't need but really want. You have a power bracelet and a shield bracelet. Power bracelet will increase your damage twofold, and shield bracelet that's the same but with your armor. Super bracelet combines both. So if you have the super bracelet, that's one of the main items you're gonna use during a run. Also good to point out, we found a spirit sword. One of those, one of the swords, actually more than one of those swords, are very useful later in the game. You have a couple of swords that are just upgrades in terms of damage, but you also have swords that can kill certain enemies that normal swords cannot. If we head over to Act 6 later in the game, you have spirit enemies, and the spirit sword, it's in the name, is the only thing that can damage those enemies, apart from the best sword in the game, which is the Soul Blade, that can kill anything. You also see that Sir Lancelot is not swinging his sword right now, and that has a reason. How this game works with level caps is you can always equip the sword, and you can always poke with the sword, as Lancelot is doing right now. What you cannot do is swing a sword until you hit certain level thresholds. So in case of the Spirit Sword, it's a very late game weapon. You need level 19 before you can actually swing it. And if you do that, it's more useful because it has a bigger arc to hit enemies. And it just does a bit more damage than just poking. But for now, these enemies in Act 2 are pretty much easy peasy if you just use the sword poke strat, because it just does so much damage compared to your level 1 sword.
We might actually see spirit enemies in Act 2. That is one thing in the vanilla game. You do run into enemies you can't kill because you don't actually have the sword for it yet. Hey, there's the red.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, we were talking about the red hot items earlier. We have two. We know where one of the locations is. What you just saw is one of the things you need to take notice of. Some of the NPCs you unlock are useless. They're just there. They're just basically filling in for the world, making sure that the world gets populated again. Some NPCs have items, and some of those NPCs will tell you what item they have. And in this case, they told us it's one of the red hot items, so it's a very useful clue. So we should make sure not to forget that.
Yeah, I had talk to her when I go to Act 3 right away.
Yeah, I had a little mishap. We had a tournament earlier this year where I participated in, and I probably did notice one of the NPCs telling me something, and I just deleted it from my brain or something, and it turned out to have one of the items I needed. So that can happen. So it's always good to pay attention. So these plant enemies are probably one of the worst to fight against, especially early on. Whenever they do that little grab animation, they're invincible. You cannot hurt them. So you need to wait until they have done their animation, and then you can kill them. And they're very fickle in their movements, so you can die easily if you're not careful.
Especially if we didn't have that super bracelet as well.
Yeah. Yeah, someone in chat already saying, "Oh no, we have a mobile key." There is one boss in Act 6. Usually, I don't want to jinx it, but usually you don't need them in the randomizer. But it leads you to the Act 6 boss, and it's not a very fun boss to play if you're trying to speedrun the game. Because it takes a long time. There's a big window where you cannot hit the boss. So it's not a whole fun boss to play. And after that, there's a whole cutscene. And no. It would be good if we can avoid it today.
And besides, to fight the boss, we have to kill Dr. Leo, and we don't want to do that. He doesn't.
That's a very good point. Might also be a good time to talk about the monster lairs you see. Now, they have a couple of different ways of spawning monsters. And one of them is what you see right now. This monster lair just continuously spawns enemies. It doesn't matter if you're close by or far away. It just keeps on spawning enemies. You also have lairs where you need to be close to the lair to actually spawn an enemy. And then you also have the lairs where you always have to kill the enemies one by one. You also have a multi-spawn, basically, where you have all of the enemies spawn at once. And especially if you're in Act 2, you're just level 2, and they all spawn those bushes you saw, like these, or the statues. That can be really, really tricky.
Yeah, with no armor, and especially like if I didn't have the spirit sword and super bracelet, and I would have had to fight those. Yeah, those would be. And we've seen multiples of those. Those would be actually pretty tricky.
So earlier in this area, I saw Sir Lancelot find the Greenwood leaf. Sometimes you need certain items or NPC layers even to be able to advance, and the Greenwood leaf is needed if you want to go ahead and go to the latter part of Act 2. Because there's a raft, and it's a talking raft because animals can talk and rafts can talk, and it's a game like that. And the raft won't let you on unless you have the Greenwood leaf equipped. Or you don't even need it to be equipped, I think. You can just have it in your inventory.
Yeah, that's right. I believe in vanilla you had to actually equip it for it to work. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm
It's been a
pretty
while since
sure
I
you
played
had
before.
to. So we also found the shield bracelet, which we will not be using because we already have the super bracelet. Also
Yes,
good to note.
we also find doors too. So
Yeah. I
that
also
door is
wanted
actually
to.
kind of special.
Yeah. I wanted to point out that door is one of the spirits you can find in this game. If you play vanilla game, you know that there are a couple of areas where either it's dark because the lights are out, or there are invisible enemies, you can talk to certain NPCs, and then it turns out to be a spirit, and it joins you, and you see that ball that's spinning around our main character over here. That will serve as basically a torch. Like if you are in a dark room, you have light. If you find the spirit, that gives you light. And same goes for invisible enemies. So that door that we just spawned is the spirit that will show you invisible enemies, invisible layers. Also, if we ever find magic, because I don't think we found magic yet, that's also a very interesting mechanic in this game. You will be using this ball floating around you.
Yeah, we have not found magic yet.
In this area, we see those metal crabs, and the metal crabs are only weak to certain weapons that can cut through metal, which is called the Xanthus sword in this game, and obviously the Soul Blade can kill them as well. And just with the spirit enemies that are further down in Act 2, if you kill them at this point, you will get a ton of XP, because you're in vanilla game, you are not supposed to kill them until much later in the game, because that sword, its vanilla location is in Act 5, Spirit Sword vanilla location Act 6, so it takes a long time before you get them in the vanilla game, so it's a very good way of getting levels early as well. We also found the Dream Rod. I'm obligated to ask, where can you buy such a Dream Rod?
It's a Queenie thing. I have no idea where we're supposed to actually buy it. Oh, I like layers like this. Give me all the monsters right away.
Yeah, it's too bad we cannot buy it. Although I did learn today that the Dream Rod is actually called, well, translated, called a Dream Baguette. So maybe if we go buy some baguettes, maybe we can actually hit the jackpot with it.
I will accept it. Hey, we have what's lovingly referred to in the community as Bob the Builder, because he's the soldier that reveals the entire castle in Act 6, and he is very required, otherwise you can't get to King Magrid, which is the main NPC that gives you the Blackstone in vanilla.
Yeah, Bob the Builder is one of those NPCs we mentioned. You can unlock the King Magrid itself, but if you don't have Bob the Builder, the castle where King Magrid resides in is not available, so there is no way of ever getting to him without having the castle like physically appear.
So on this screen, you might see me switch off my super bracelet. Hey, there's Marie. So that's another one of the main NPCs that we need to find. But you might see me switch off the super bracelet at some point, because you're going to see me actually taking a lot of damage, so I don't have to wait for those floors that are superheated. Typically, you would have ice, or you wouldn't have it yet, but you'll find ice armor that protects you from that. But we don't have that, and we're trying to go fast, so I don't have time to wait for floors to cool down.
Yeah, it's also good to note that it also refers to those spirits I was talking about. In the randomizer, you need to learn how to traverse these parts without the ice armor, and you need to traverse dark rooms without the spirit. The logic does not dictate that you need those items or spirits to advance, so you do need to learn those. It also goes for a couple of invisible chests that are available, especially in Act 6.
Which is actually a good thing to note, because we actually found the Soul of Light in Act 2, and we're going to be going to Light Shrine when we're done here. So yeah, we're going to get to go into the dark.
Also, one thing to note, right now Sir Lancelot uses up his medical herb. We have a tournament in the community called Herb%, which is just a bit of a joke because you find a lot of medical herbs.
Speaking
Just
of,
as we talked about it, yeah, there are a lot of herbs available in this game, and usually they don't show up when you need them to, and you get a ton in the early stages, and you just don't have a lot of use for it. Oh look, that's one of the grandmas we need. So as we discussed before, with the red dot items, we need to talk to the king and his two grandmas. You do need all of those. You need the king, you need the two grandmas, you need a way making it to the king, so a couple of NPC releases to get there. And then you can give the king the red dot items, and the grandmas will do something, but we'll talk about it when that moment happens.
and another medical herb. Cool. I got all my health back.
Very nice.
Thinking about it, I probably could skip this layer, but on the off chance that something happens before I get to... Actually, no, I don't want to because I have to leave the scorpion line. Alright, so...
Oh look.
Woods Guardian, okay. So, there's the major one that gets me out of Act 2 to Act 3, which we actually have access to Act 3 and Act 4 now. But we're gonna go do Light Shrine, because I don't see the point in leaving it behind when I can... Especially since I can full clear having this Spirit Sword already.
Yeah, that's the main thing right now. There's no need of ever getting back to that place. Maybe you can ever go back to the Fire Shrine we were just at, if you need a couple of items and have the Xanthous sword ready. But
See, this is one of the worst layers when you have to kill one to get the next one to show up, and it's the ones that disappear. You have to try to get them to come quickly.
yeah, it can take a long time before they appear again.
And it was for nothing.
This is always a very easy check to miss. So it's I think Act 2 does have a couple of those. The lair you were just at, where you have to go back down in the Fire Shrine to kill one lair, and that one check are very easy to miss.
Yep. And in a little bit, you'll see that we were talking about there's the middle monsters, spirit monsters. You're going to be seeing the first spirit monster that normally you wouldn't be able to kill already, but here they are. I shouldn't be able to kill this, and you can kind of see it actually gives you experience like you were in Act 6 already. It gave me 1100, which was like 25% of my experience, so you'll probably actually see me get several, probably like 2 or 3 levels while I'm here, just because I can kill these. There's also like 4 or 5 in the basement as well.
I see Dengwu showing some appreciation for the music. The soundtrack is really good. A lot of people also really like Leo's Lab, Leo's Basement in Act 5. But I think a lot of tracks, maybe all of them, are just very, very good.
Yeah, music in this is really good. All right.
One thing to note in this game as well is you see the monster lairs, and you will see Sir Lancelot trying to kill every enemy from that lair before heading off to do something else. That has a reason. If you hear the pop of the lair being killed, that's when you can head off and go to some other place. But if you fail to kill every enemy in the lair, and you step on a monster lair you want to close, and there's an NPC behind, so you actually have a screen transition. If you get back, the lair that you were killing as well will have fully reset, so you have to kill all of the enemies again. And that's something that usually happens in this area as well. If you can kill the spirit enemies, you do want to kill the monster lairs that you will encounter later on, but you don't want to step on all of them, because if you do, you have to go back to kill these spirit enemies, and unless you want to farm even more XP, it's not very useful to do.
Yeah, that would be the first one. Like, if I step on that, I have to go back and kill the 2 spirit enemies still. And not a big deal, but I don't really need experience. Like, if I was really close to being able to swing the spirit sword, okay, but I'm still 7 levels away. I'd have to do that a lot to be able to actually swing the spirit sword.
Yeah, this is also one of the cases we mentioned. The rooms are very dark. In a vanilla game, you would have had the spirit of light, I think, to see in the dark. But we don't play by those rules here.
It's a randomizer. Dark rooms are like, if a dark room is in a randomizer, you learn the dark room. That's usually how it
Yep.
goes. So.
Queenie saying something about thinking of lyrics of one of the songs. I know one very, very famous song that we had before the last randomizer tournament we had. But people are interested, they should look it up. It's a lot of fun.
That was the Act 2 boss. Normally,
Yeah,
you
Blink
don't
and
have
you
the
miss
spirit
it.
sword or super bracelet or anything fun like that to where the fight's typically a little bit more difficult than that.
Yeah, you'll be seeing that probably throughout the seed.
Yeah, I guess that's a good thing to know. You typically don't actually have to kill the bosses unless there's something required behind them. But
Yeah, boss kills only have one monster lair behind them. So it can be anything. It can be an NPC you actually need that's required. It can also be just a random snail getting ready for a snail race. We have those in this game.
that is not what I want to do yet. I want to do this.
No.
All right.
So we did mention the Zentetsu sword being able to kill metal enemies. And right now, Sir Lancelot made the decision to not ever have to go back to the enemy lairs of Act 2 ever again. It's gonna kill those metal crabs you see right here, or metal scorpions rather.
Yeah, it's just like I have the Zantetsu sword. I'm already in Act 2. It's like there's 2 items in the layer. I'm really looking for everything, and just to come back just for that, especially if something ends up being here. It's kind of one of those things that usually don't come back unless you have a bunch more to do in Act 2. And considering I've already done the Light Shrine already, there's really not much more drawing me back into Act 2 anymore when I leave.
Yeah, and you also, looking at the items, you do have knowledge of all of the red hot items, but you don't have one of these stones yet.
Yep, no stones. We're still missing Soul Blade, Soul Armor, Phoenix as well.
Yes, for people who are a little bit lesser known with the game, if you want to kill the last boss, you need 3 items, which Sir Lincoln just mentioned. We have the Soul Blade, Soul Armor, and the magic called Phoenix. The magic, if you know Illusion of Gaia, it reminds me a lot of the Fire Bird that you can use at the end. So it's also very useful for the last boss. But it's it's things you need to be able to kill Death Toll, the last boss in this game.
Second one. Nice thing about finding the Zetsu Sword, other than the fact I don't have to leave these behind as well, is the fact I don't have to wait until level 19 to have a weapon I can swing. Zansetsu Sword only requires level 16, so I'm only a few levels away from actually being able to swing a sword instead of poke everything. Because Act 1 and 2 with the Spirit Sword, pretty much everything, and Super Bracelet, pretty much everything's going to get 1 shot or 2 shot from the stabs. But once we start getting like Act 3, Act 4, it might take a little bit longer to do that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but you also get a ton more XP off of those enemies. Obviously, apart from these special metal and spirit enemies, but especially Act 4 has a ton of XP you can just get. And the enemies are higher level, but I feel like the Act 4 enemies are a bit more manageable compared to Act 2 and Act 3 even.
Depending on where you are in there and if you have magic or not, because that's the one thing.
Yeah, you do have a couple of areas in Act 3, or Act 4 rather, that if you don't have magic especially, it can be very rough because you have enemies we like to call Wizrobes. They keep on teleporting away, a bit akin to the statues we have in Act 2. And it just takes a long time. And if you have magic, especially if it's a lair where they all spawn, you can just wait and wait and wait, and then hit them all in one go. Yeah, but no magic so far, so still have to wait to be able to show off the magic system.
Yep. Still no armor either.
No.
Alright, so yeah, that is everything we can do in Act 2 for right now, so we're definitely going to be going to Act 3.
Yeah, one thing to note is Sir Lancelot is unlocking a lot of NPCs, and most of them don't have anything, so you don't need to talk to them or do anything with them. Some of them do, some of them are very important, and because we don't have all of the items we need, like we said, we need 6 stones, we don't have any of those stones. It's very likely that Sir Lancelot will have to go back at one point, to go back to Act 1, Act 2, even though Act 2 doesn't have any monster layers available, there are still a couple of items he can check once he releases the right NPCs and has the right items to get the items from those NPCs. In this area, you see Sir Lancelot taking some damage. You're supposed to have a certain armor for this part. It's called the bubble armor. And along with the soul armor, those are basically the only 2 armors that are very important in the randomizer run, because the bubble armor is required to go to a couple of places in Act 3 where we are right now.
Sometimes like this one, it's really easy to just walk to because you don't take that much damage. Even if I got here with a much lower level, I could get to it without any issues. The other ones you typically won't do until the bubble armor, with maybe Rockbird being the exception, because Rockbird's pretty easy to get to once you get to a higher level. I already talked to her. But yeah,
Yeah.
the other ones are really difficult to get through, even with a medical herb and getting all your health back. There's still a lot of damage that goes through.
Thankfully, whenever you step on one of the blue portals to go back to basically your hub place, your hub world, you get a free health refill. Also, when you level up, you may have noticed, but if you level up, you get a health refill. So it's very, very important, especially the early stages. If you're a bit squishy, don't have a medical herb, try and kill enemies so you get a level up.
Just be careful, especially if you don't have armor like I do. I've got the super bracelet still, so that's helping, but we're going to hit the point where that super bracelet, I'm still going to start taking more than 1 damage per monster. Maybe. I guess my higher level increases my defense too, so I might not have to worry about it as much, but still.
Just like that, those birds you see in Act 3, they can be very annoying, and you can play a bit safe, but they usually find a way of damaging you anyway, so... You unlock the bridge guard, so you can finally go to the right side of Act 1, but I think you don't have the watermill keeper yet, and you don't have the stairs towards the house in the top, so those areas are where multiple monster lairs can be accessed, but we don't have the right NPC unlocks yet, so no need of going back to Act 1 right now.
Yeah, the only thing I could do right now there is check the goat pen, which, yeah, that's not worth it at all. Considering the fact that I did those metal monsters, though, it's kind of one of those, like, when I'm playing, I did the metal monsters in Act 2 where the people might skip it. I got both Leo's house and Leo's brush there, so that might be something when I unlock the stairs. I might make a beeline to Act 1 just because I kind of gambled that I need the metal monsters from the Fire Shrine, and...
Yeah. Also, you just found some stairs, and those stairs are also very important. There are 2 sets of stairs in Act 5 you need to unlock to be able to go to the NPC at the end. The Doll Marie, we already unlocked her. But if we could go to Act 5 right now, there's no way to go to Act 6 because we have one set of stairs, we have 1 door we need, but we don't have the second set of stairs. So still a ways off. So we're heading to the last part of this area in Act 3. I don't think we found anything really interesting in here.
I think
We got the
found
bridge
something in
guard.
Act 4. Maybe that was it. Well, now we found something interesting. Oh, yeah,
look.
Bridge Guard and the Mountain King, so, yeah.
Yeah. So the Mountain King is the one we talked about where you can give the king the red dot items, but I don't think we have Wood Grandpa yet, one of the NPCs you need to get to the king. And we also need 1 more grandma. Very important.
Yeah, we need 1 more Grandma. We need, yeah, Wooden Grandpa, and then there's 1 more that we would need to actually get there, too.
No.
Because I don't have the boy that typically gives you mushroom shoes or the Grandpa in the Northwest room to get there, so... We're missing a couple things. I already unlocked this, so we'll grab it. Surprise, it's a medical herb.
You're all just thinking about your health and safety.
Yeah, when it's full and I already have a medical herb. That's when they think
Yeah.
about it. Well, there's the stairs we were talking about. But we can't get there yet. We're still missing a significant amount, actually. We still need to find Gnome, which chances are we'll probably find Gnome somewhere here.
Yeah, we also, I think we didn't find the prison guard yet either. So we would not be able to access Gnome yet.
I don't think we have the mushroom to the southern tunnel either. So
Also, these enemies are also with the invisibility frames. Whenever they shake their head off like that, you cannot hit them. And it's kind of terrible, especially because we don't have any magic yet. And usually those are the type of enemies you don't want to get close to, so you can just spam magic at them from afar.
yeah, I'm really hoping we don't find mushroom shrews anytime soon because yeah, that's why you're gonna see me just kind of wait this layer out until everything spawns, because I do pretty much just enough damage with the stabs before they actually start to go into their invulnerability flames. And then I'm gonna skip all these because all it does is unlock like an ice bridge. So
Yeah, thankfully they those moves all spawned at the same time. Like you didn't have to kill one, wait again, kill one. That would take so long.
that's the same one. That's just another ice bridge, so we're gonna skip that.
The Queenie already calling out for Act 6 no armor. It's very much possible. If we find Gnome and the way to Gnome in here, you could theoretically go to Act 6.
Why do you wish me on that on me? Just because I talked about this seed being like that, you know, in the room beforehand doesn't mean that's what I want to do.
I think Queenie's just being very supportive. She knows you'll get there and then you'll just beat this game anyway. You'll be fine.
Yeah, only armor I'm gonna find is soul armor, right? That's it.
Yeah.
And we'll find that in like Act 7 before the space. So
Okay, good. They do all spawn at the same time again.
yeah, except the one above didn't, so I'm gonna have to deal with that anyways. Alright, there's the prison guard. So we still need Gnome.
Yeah, I guess. Let's wait. Oh,
But speaking of Gnome, they were right next to each
Wow.
other, just like they are in the real world. So
is this game even randomized?
they're best friends, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I was about to say, before Gnome popped up there, like, it would be very likely to either find mushroom shoes or something that can unlock more in Act 1 or something. But guess we have our way to Act 6 right now.
Yeah, because even if we found something that unlocked one of the mermaid statues in Act 3, I'd have to find bubble armor then.
Yep. We do have a lot of checks over here. Good start.
Speaking of mushroom shoes. Alright, cool. We have the soul blade now. And our first emblem too.
Wow. Yeah, maybe I'll take a bit of time to talk about the emblems. Or maybe about Dr. Leo. Yeah, let's discuss Dr. Leo after. The emblems, we have 8 emblems in this game. If you find them all, there is an NPC you need to talk to in Act 2. It's a deer. And once you unlock the deer and make sure that the deer has a way of getting to a certain tree, it can bonk his head against a tree and then a crystal drops down with a fairy. If you have all 8 emblems, you will get an item. And because of that, because of all of the preparation basically you need before that. It's lovingly called the pedestal. If you know Zelda Link to the Past Randomizer, you probably know what we're talking about.
Yep, that is the check that is definitely closest to a pedestal check.
We also found the mushroom shoes. You see our hero over here is gliding over the ice. If you have the mushroom shoes, you can actually walk over the ice without any issues. You can still go to these layers without them, but if you want to continue on in Act 4, at this part at least, you do need the mushroom shoes. And we have our first magic.
Alright, well, that makes my decision up. It's not the greatest magic, especially for what we're about to do, but it'll work.
You're heading in.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. I'm here.
So we also found one of the 3 items we need to be able to finish the game with the Soul Blade. It's the best weapon in the game. It can kill anything. It does have a level cap of 24, so it does take a while before Sir Luck can actually swing the sword. So I wouldn't be surprised if he switches over to Zantetsu at one point if he gets level 16. But yeah, it's a good weapon to have early on. Still no armor though, but that's fine, right?
We still have Super Bracelet, which speaking of, let me put that back on since, you know, I don't have armor and things, which here we go, and they're going to show up one at a time too, so.
Oh god. Yeah, these are the whiz robes we were talking about. You have the ice and fire
When they do
ones.
that.
Wow.
This is why, like, Spark Bomb's nice to have, but it's really not going to help me out too much on this layer, because Spark Bomb is going to show up where the orb is. I have to get too close to them, and there's no way for me to, like, reposition the orb to where their lair is, where I can ignore it.
Yeah, that's also good to point out, because we do have magic, but it's not the one where you can just shoot fire or shoot a light arrow from afar, which would be very nice. Spark bombs just get planted on the position of the orb. You can manipulate the orb's position by walking into a wall, but it doesn't always work, especially this is
Like
what you
that.
see. Yeah.
Did it
The
just to
magic is
test
bit
it,
slow.
but yeah.
Also, you see a lot of lag if there are a lot of sprites on screen. It can get very hectic, and there are a couple of areas later on that are just very rough to navigate because whatever you do, it's basically always lag city. It's just horrible.
Alright, well, I'm glad I did this.
Yeah, so that is the wood grandpa we were talking about. Needed to be able to go to the Mountain King.
We have another single spawning whiz robe.
Maybe a good time to talk about a part of the story in this game. Because we unlocked Dr. Leo earlier on, who was waiting for us in Act 6. Dr. Leo actually has a kid, a daughter, called Lisa. She's over in Act 1. We haven't unlocked her yet, which maybe is a good thing. Because Lisa is a woman who sees the main character once, gets very angry, wants him to leave, and then says, "Oh no, wait, come back, please help my father." Because her father is forced to do basically evil things for one NPC in Act 6 in Magritte area, and we unlock the second grandma. That's very good.
So I'm
But
missing one NPC to be able to get down there now?
I think so.
Yeah, I need the boy that typically gives mushroom shoes in vanilla, and this is gonna be terrible.
The multi-spawn lair. They
Thankfully,
did
they're
kind of line up.
behaving. Yeah, they're behaving and not going into the wall. Okay, cool. That wasn't actually as bad as I thought it could be. And that's not gonna spawn, alright. But yeah, I need the boy that gives the mushroom shoes or the grandpa to get the northwest room to be able to actually get down there.
Yeah. Oh, there's his fire cousin, Wisro.
Oh, that's right. I actually am 16 now, so I missed that level up. So yeah, I can actually swing swords now. Well, I could swing a sword before, but I can actually swing a sword that'll do good damage.
Yeah, you can immediately tell the difference between poking and slashing. Yeah, if we ever have to go to the end of Act 6 at one of the towers, we will get there at one point, maybe. But then we can see Dr. Leo, and if we have the right NPCs unlocked, we see a bit of the story unfold, but maybe we don't need to because we want to go fast.
We'll see. We're still missing all 6 stones. That's actually... I mean, we've got Soul Blade and the 3 red hot items, but... yeah. No stones at like 50 minutes in.
Yeah, and it's not like you have a lot of items waiting for you in the earlier acts, I feel like. There's not a big item hunt you can do right now.
Yeah, I can go back to Act 2 for a couple, Act 1 for a couple. That's pretty much it right now. Act 3, or the Act 3 has one. I've unlocked the mermaid that has a gift for you. Mermaids too. We probably will not be using those.
This is an interesting area of the Act 4 world where you have those semi-invisible bridges you have to contest with.
I think
Very
the game
nicely
feels
done.
sorry for me with how they're spawning those. But alright, well now we have something to go back to Act 1 for if we want to. There's a whole lot to do in Act 5 though.
Yeah. Yeah, because you already have the Zentetsu sword, you can basically do everything. We have both model towns, we have the way unlocked to Marie. I think we even have a door key, but I don't think we have a chest of drawers that will give us 2 items over there.
Yep. And they're gonna spawn singly.
Yeah, if Sir Lancelot had better magic right now, this would have gone way faster, but
Hey, there's only 2 of them.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Now I could go to...
Yeah, I think that's one of the ways getting to the Mountain King.
Yeah, as you can see, even with the super bracelet, I'm actually taking significantly more damage. It's not just 1 when I'm getting hit by certain things. So, Act 5 is going to be fun. But, I don't have any. Of course I don't have any. We're taking Death Warp. So. Broly C? Not really, I just don't have armor yet. Other than that, it's not so bad.
Yeah, so when you die in this game, consequence is that you will lose all of your gems. You see the gem count at the top right is 0. You use your gems to be able to use magic, but to be honest, the magic we have right now is not really worth. All right, we have the dancing grandmas. Woo! The best part in the game.
I mean, it definitely is. Well, speaking of armor, my first armor on Mountain King check. Okay.
There it is. That's the last castle we need to go to.
And before I forget, let's actually go equip that. So we only had to go all the way through like 4 acts to get armor.
Yeah, you did miss your chance of going to Act 6 with no armor. Just had
Sorry.
to.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Queenie.
We came so close.
That gives us access to technically Act 5 and Act 6 because I can already go talk to Marie. But
Yeah,
there's
now
a
you're.
lot we can do now.
I was about to say you're spoiled for choice. You can go to at least the first part of Leo's basement, and then you also have the 2 model towns. If you want to go to Act 6, you also have a lot to do there. So, happy hunting.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Act 6 just yet because I can't swing the spirits. I mean, I can check some chests, but checking the actual full basement, not being able to swing the spirit sword, that's not going to be very fun.
No, you're pretty much at the appropriate level you need for this area because, like I said, the Sentetsu sword is the weapon you find in this act. You usually find 1 weapon per act and 1 armor per act. So being able to swing the sword, you know that this is the right area to level if you want to get some more XP right now.
Yeah, there's definitely more than enough experience. Hey, there's the other one we're needing, potentially. Well, if I need a medical herb, I know where to go get one.
That's the NPC that had the item I needed in my run. I always love it when those wriggly enemies are basically stuck in place.
Yeah. I guess something to bring up because we didn't. I mean, we've talked about magic, but then we talked about the machine and spirit enemies. But I don't know if we actually said this. They are immune to magic as well. So it's not just. I'll just get around it by using magic, and I just didn't have magic at the time.
And also good to know those squiggly enemies. Maybe if you played Illusion of Gaia or Illusion of Time, those enemies are there as well. Think of the Sky Garden, but those enemies are not metal enemies, so you can hit them with any weapon. So it can happen in Randomizer that the Xanthus sword is actually lurking behind a lair in this act, but that you can kill by killing those specific enemies. It has happened before, and then maybe you're putting off going to Act 5 for a long time because you don't have that sword, and then it turns out it was there all along.
That's actually how it is in vanilla. You actually have to come down here to kill a couple of monster layers that you can to unlock the door to get you to the Zansetsu sword. This is another one of the monsters that I don't actually need the Zansetsu sword for.
Also, we haven't seen them yet, but the worst enemies in this area are definitely ones we call the runners. They're very fast robots, and they kind of just scoot over the entire map. And I think they go right or left all the time. And if you don't pay attention to where they're going, they can just take forever to loop back. So it takes a long time if you miss a lair.
Speaking of Lunaith, I don't have the Lucky Blade yet, though, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, so that NPC unlock opens up a way to Loon, and you do need the Lucky Blade, one of the weapons, to be able to go to that area. If you don't have that weapon, oh look, these are the running enemies. If you don't have the Lucky Blade, the grandpa over there will just stop you.
Freaking off.
And
we gotta look.
yeah,
I think. Yeah. Okay. Like I think they'll be right here. I hope they will, because if not, I'm gonna reset them.
yeah, way of
Pretty
resetting.
sure that was maybe.
Yeah, I did hear a pop, so I think that's the last one. The way of resetting a lair is what we talked about before. If you open up a lair and you step on it and it's an NPC unlocked, so it's a screen transition, other monster lairs will reset, so the enemies are spawned back. But it does mean that you know that they're here at the beginning, so you can actually plan your attack and plan your moves so they don't escape again.
Donation.
Yeah.
We had a $20 donation come in from the Axeman with no comment. Thank you very much, Axeman.
All
Yeah,
of Act 5 is open to me now.
Yeah, you can do even more in here. You also unlock the stairs to the house on top of the hill in Act 1, so you can fully complete Act 1 as well.
Yeah, I think that might be what I actually do after this, considering where I got Leo's brush and they were like right next to each other. It feels like Act 1's kind of a good play right now after this.
I also want to thank the Axeman. He's one of the members of our community, so thank you very much for your generous donation. We appreciate it.
It's actually one of the people that I know that has done a lot for many different communities.
Got our
Yeah.
first stone.
We had to go to Act 5. We also just unlocked a mermaid statue. We need the mermaid statues to be able to progress in Act 3, but like we said before, we also need the bubble armor to actually get to those areas. And to be honest, it's not that bad to not be able to go to Act 3 right now, because there is a lot to choose from. Some of the areas don't have a lot of items, and I think we're mainly looking for items right now.
Yeah, because the only soul I actually need now is, assuming something's not locked behind anything, would be King of Grid. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as if everybody's like, well, what's the need for go mode? We are missing all 5 stones for go mode. I still need to find soul armor and phoenix. That's pretty much it. And then we need King of Grid. I don't know why I did that, because I'm just kill those since those were quick enough.
Force of habit.
Yep, pretty much. Because I usually just kill both of those at the same time. Since those spawn fast enough, I'll just do that instead. And we're actually going to have our first trip into Dream World in just a bit here. I already have that item. A little bit of story before all the souls got taken by Death Toll.
Also, one good thing to note, if you play the vanilla game, maybe you remember this cutscene and other cutscenes as being a bit longer than what you see right here. It's a quality of life change to the randomizer that you don't have to wait and wait and wait until all the text has been processed. We also found the Lucky Blade, so if you want, you could go to Loon with not really good magic.
I mean, I already did Lanel, so can't be that bad, right? Oh,
So here we have a couple of invisible enemies, invisible layers. We did walk past the door that would let you actually see those enemies, but also if you unlock that spirit, it can cause a lot of lag. So if you know where to look, there's no way you should ever get that spirit.
part of me's tempted to get it just because of how much damage I'm taking. They were hitting me for like 5 health apiece, so
Yeah, even with your armor on.
yeah. And I think I've got super. Pretty sure I've got super. I hope I do. Nope, I have the Dream Rod. That's why I'm taking so much damage. I forgot to put that back on after going to Dream World. Thankfully, I mean, if we didn't have the super bracelet, we have the shield bracelet. But yeah, thankfully with the lack of armor, that kind of saved the early part.
Yeah, it kind of balances things out. No armor, or just I think the 4th armor we have right now.
Yeah, the magic armor. Which, if I had to get an armor, considering I just took a death warp right before getting it, that's probably the best armor for me to get because it also has the amount of gems I have to use to cast magic. And
Yeah, the different blades have different properties, with the Zentatsu and Spirit Sword very notable, but the armors also have special abilities, basically. There's also one armor that we talked about that can help you avoid taking damage from lava floors. We also had a couple of lava floors in Act 5. And there's also armor, I think it's the Elemental Mail, one of the last armors you can get, and it protects you from spikes, basically. Yeah.
we'll probably, after this, I can go to Act 6, but we'll probably actually go to Act 1, since there's a lot for me to do there. Plus, I can finish Act 4 off as well, since I have both the Lucky Blade and access to Loon, even without magic. Because Act 6, still all I have is the basement.
Yeah. Hopefully you can get a bit of better magic in Act 1, so Act 4 can be less of a hassle as it has been already.
Would happen to have a moment to read a donation?
Yeah.
So we had $25 come in from our good friend Dangwoo, and he said, "Woo!" That was for you, Falconic and Danny.
Very nice. Thanks for that.
Hopefully I did that well enough for you, Dang.
We found the recovery sword in this act. It's the second second best sword in the game. Level cap at 22, and what you can do if you use and equip it, you can actually gain health by killing enemies.
A really
But it's
helpful
not-
sword, especially if you're taking a significant amount of damage to kind of keep yourself alive at times.
No. The same as the super wrist, it's not required, but it's very useful to have in certain situations.
Speaking of better magic, down there. I don't know why I'm doing that. No.
The flame ball is the first type of magic you get in the vanilla game, and it depends on where you're looking, where the flame ball will go. So it's sometimes a bit hard to control, but at least you can just fire them from a long way.
It's one of those that you really hope you have before you go to like Lano or Loon, and I didn't. But now we have one, so Loon's not as bad anymore if I have to do it. It's not light arrow, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, also you hit level 19, which is good because that means you can swing the spirit sword.
I'm being chased by a miniature soldier.
Run away! Yeah, to answer chat, level 24 is needed for the Soul Blade. You're correct. It often happens that you can access X7 in the World of Evil, and you're not level 24 yet. But there are a couple of enemies you can just farm XP on very easily if you're there, and you hit level 24 in no time, so it's nice.
Yeah, you can get like 12,000 every like 5 or 6 seconds or so. It does not take long. One more that's hiding. Act 1 is looking really good now.
Yeah, what Sir Lincoln just unlocked is basically the way to one of the so-called hype caves we have, because there are 3 item checks over there, and very easy to reach. So I wouldn't be surprised if we find something like a stone or a soul armor there, because we are still lacking a lot of items.
No, the game just wants to give me medical herbs. It's okay.
Back-to-back health and safety. Alright, we're almost out of the second model town. And we did see just there that there's a squirrel who wants to give us a strange bottle if we find delicious seeds. We haven't talked about ways of preserving your gems if you die. Like normally you die, you lose all of your gems. If you happen to have a strange bottle, And there are a couple that are in the game. I'm surprised we haven't. I think we haven't found anyone yet. But if you decide to go and grab a strange bottle, and you die, and you have the strange bottle equipped, so you actually need to equip it, then you will keep your gems, so you don't have to worry about losing all of them. And we also have an item called the Magic Bell, and basically it means that all magic is free. You don't use any gems to use your magic, and if you equip it, it works the same way as a strange bottle, so you're not losing any of your gems. Yeah, we see you're deciding to just full clear
Yeah.
Act 4 at this point.
There's 2 items down here at the very least, so like if it was just souls down here, I'd probably just decide to skip it. But with 2 items and the fact that we're looking for so many items still, yeah, it's I need to actually have the other sword on for this. And then watch the damage I'm taking as well still.
Yeah, especially those lava floors can hurt a lot.
Yep. Well, if you don't get hit, that works, but
Also, whenever you unlock an NPC, you get a little bit of health back. It depends on which act you release an NPC in. And if you unlock one of the guardians of that act, so for instance, we only need King Grid. If we unlock King Grid, you get a full health refill. This is one of the more annoying checks because you have to go back and forth a couple of times to be able to check it. Fortunately, only having a medical herb. What else is expected?
and we'll go kill the boss since we're here.
So you see that so Linkalot was he's walking up and down at a very specific spot. It's a trick, so the boss doesn't actually go away. Usually the boss just keeps on teleporting in one of the portals that are on the side. If you look at your right now, if you stand on that one vertical line, the boss doesn't go away to teleport. You can just move up and down and be able to just absolutely wreck that boss.
He did a good job at wrecking me too, but I'm still in really low armor for here. Even with the super bracelet, that boss deals a ton of damage.
Yeah, it's one of the more scary bosses, I think, if you play this randomizer.
Hey, I got a medical herb to replace the one I used, which I should not need in Act 1.
Look, you got the best magic in the game.
I mean, if I want to create leg, yeah. Alright. Anything here? Gems? No. More gems. Nothing in the cave.
Unfortunately, it's a very unhyped cave again.
Sadly. Let's see. I need to equip Leo's brush.
Yeah, so this was one of the instances where you can see you need a combination of NPC unlocks and a specific item to be able to access this part of the game. We get another snail. If we have one more snail, we can actually activate snail races. Although I doubt that we will see it this run.
Probably not. Maybe if we have time. We'll see.
To answer Sonny Wrath, yeah, this is probably one of the worst hype caves you could have had. I guess it could be even worse. You have a couple of no item checks, that there's nothing inside, so that could be worse. At least we got some gems.
Yeah, I was low on gems because of that death one, so I've got more than enough gems for Lune, or Loon, because, yeah, I was down to like 400 or so. I guess I've got the magic armor, so it's not as bad, but...
It's always nice if you don't have to worry about your gem count.
Yeah. I am glad I came back here. Alright, so we don't need any more souls at all. We just need to find items now. Not that item, though. I mean, maybe that item, but...
Yeah, this means we don't necessarily need any NPC unlocks. It could still be the case that the NPC we want to we unlock later on will have the item we need. Wouldn't be too surprising, but the main focus is on item hunting. And if we have to, we'll probably go and look for the NPC unlocks anyway.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm here. I'm not going to skip any NPCs right here because there's a lot of stuff that's being locked. Like, both towers are missing. Most of mermaid statues are missing as well, so...
Weenie hoping for a pet seed with emblems in Act 7.
I mean, that's a possibility still. Still missing Phoenix and Soul Blade. Or Soul Armor. Oh, that's Queenie that wants that, of course. Okay.
He's just very excited.
I did that again.
It's a bit funny that the dolphin is trying to rescue Lou, and Lou is not unlocked yet, so he's trying to rescue no one in that room.
I mean, in the dolphin's defense, he doesn't know he can't see through the walls, so it's okay.
That's true. As you can see in this act as well, there are a couple of metal enemies. So we're using the Senzetsu sword right now to make sure we kill them. Also, people who know of the secret boss in Illusion of Time, Illusion Gaia, Pay attention because you will see that boss over here, but I guarantee it's not going to last very long.
Yeah, no, 2 swings.
Actually, 2 swings, wow.
I'm gonna go do the second part of the underground castle over here.
Yeah, the
It's
only thing we're
relatively
missing,
quick.
the only thing we're missing over there is basically the one check and the one item behind Lisa, but hopefully we don't have to actually talk to Lisa this game.
Which, since we brought up Lisa, that is Dr. Leo's daughter. There's something fun that happens with the randomizer that if you actually don't find her soul anywhere, the credits bug and you can't actually get through the credits. So we'll see if that happens or not.
Yeah, it would be cool. But we're just all praying, no Lisa.
Speaking of those mermaid statues,
Yeah, we still don't have the bubble armor, so we cannot actually do anything over there.
no. Almost 90 minutes in the seat, and I still actually only have the one armor too.
Yeah, 1 armor, 1 stone. 2 cats, though.
Yeah, we got both the cats. Not that we can get to them, we're still missing that door.
Yeah, there are a lot of checks behind a lot of NPC unlocks in Act 5. You have the door, you have the 2 cats, you have a couple of mice, you have a plant, you have another door, you have a chest of drawers. But if you get all of those, I think you have, about 5 checks to seek out.
Yep. Yep, that is right.
You also need the door key.
Which we have that, so.
Yeah.
I believe that's another item check in Act 3 as well.
Yeah, I think Act 2 and 3 have a couple of item checks still available right now.
I'll probably skip them and go do Lune or Loon first. Oops, I should not have done that. But I did it. Speaking of item check.
Yeah, so this is one of the cases where the monster lair resets.
Yep. That's what I was doing. I was just showing off how that works.
Yeah, thank you for that. Sure, chat is very happy to see that.
Yeah.
What a team player.
I mean, I already took one for the team by doing the extended names, so I might as well just do it all.
At this point, it's kind of funny to see. This is very much part of the randomizer. Sir Lancelot has over 100,000 XP, and he's getting like 1 and 2 XP from these enemies.
We were back here when, like, the first 3 digits of my experience was my experience. So.
Well-
that is one check. We still need that chest or drawers, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe I've seen that.
No, I think we need the chest of drawers. We don't have the aromatic leaf to lure the cats away, and I also don't know if we have the mouse needed to enter that part.
No, I unlocked a mouse inside the hole, but it's not the one that has the check.
Alright. That's basically Act 1 done. We only have a couple of item checks, but we need different NPC unlocks to get those.
Yep. So, yeah, we're gonna stop at Loon. That's not the way. Alright. But yeah, we will go to Loon. Because I need to go talk to or not talk, but I need to go put the Dream Baguette on the Sleepy Mushroom. Because I forgot to do that when I talked to Gnome. The Loon has a couple item checks on top of souls, so
Yeah, and basically by doing this, it's with the same with the Lisa check in Act 1. If you have the NPC unlocked, you have to bring rod. You could just as well unlock it before going off to that area, so you can just fully complete that and don't have to come back.
I actually think about there's a lot of items here. I think it's 4 with
I think so.
because there's 2 here. Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah, there are 4 checks in there.
No. Now you get to see that this is
Yeah, this is so much nicer. Hey. 2 down, 6 to go.
2 stones at an hour and a half, though. That feels pretty bad. Even if you do have, I guess I have all my souls that I need, so that's not so bad. But and bubble armor, okay.
Alright, so this was hard required.
Well, yeah, greenstone, definitely. Bubble armor gives access to. We have both Rockbird and Durian.
Do you see
Probably
those?
gonna be- There's another item.
Yeah, that's another item check. We also saw those with rope spawning basically at the same time. It's usually good to get rid of a few before they all spawn because they can still lag if you don't.
We can go back there now for multiple checks. I've got like 3 checks back there.
Someone in chat mentioning they don't know a lot about this game, so I hope you're enjoying this run. Sri Lanka is doing a great job. And yeah, it's definitely a fun game, even in especially in vanilla as well. So if you like these type of games, check it out. You won't regret it.
No, what's up there? Quit it.
It's so hard to move when they all try to hit you like that.
Yeah. Especially when both layers where that's where that leg comes in. What do we got here? Okay, Loon was definitely hard required. We had 2 stones here. That's where all the stones were hiding.
We just unlocked an NPC. Yeah, this NPC,
I do have goat food.
yep, it could mean something to us. The goat requests to basically get fed. So if you have a goat food, you can talk to that goat, and the goat can give you a hint on where one of the 3 items you need for defeating Death Toll is hiding. So that means the Soul Blade, which we already have, Soul Armor, or the Phoenix Magic. So hopefully, if we're still looking for those items later on, and we talk to the goat to see if they give in, hopefully they won't be telling us about the Soul Blade location, because that would be very, very useless right now.
Yeah. If I had other things to actually do in Act 1, I'd probably just, at this point, make the decision to just go there immediately right now. Just because of that fact, but... I have too many checks right now to decide to go take a hint. If I was missing if that was the only item I was missing at all, then sure, because you get that chance where you know exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, it just takes a lot of time if you always just go back for one check in every act. If you keep doing that, it will cost you in the long run.
I guess I will give you a heads up if you want to start talking about Poseidon, because I am going to kill Poseidon
Yep.
while I'm here.
Yeah, we were hoping for that. So the boss in Act 4 is, as Sir Lancelot just mentioned, Poseidon, which is a big fishy overlord with a trident. There's actually a couple of differences between the English and the Japanese release of this game. Because you see here, it's a very muscular fishman. If you play in the Japanese version, you will actually fight, I don't know if it's supposed to be Poseidon's wife, but you fight a female version. And because they thought it was a bit awkward to have a boss showing her breasts in this game, they decided to change it to a male character just for the English release. Also, that boss released one of the 2 towers in Act 6. But that can be very useful because it has a lot of item checks, but I don't know if we have the platinum card to access that tower yet.
I do have the VIP card, yes.
On the VIP card, yes.
I already have it. We're gonna go do the checks that I have. Because I got 4 item checks here. So. Yes, dumps dream too. They dream. They are birds that believe they can fly. So let's see. We are looking for some more stones. Fly away, birdie.
Yeah, we already had a sleeping cat, sleeping tree. We also unlocked the sleeping dolphin in Act 3.
Yep. Okay. Well, there's the platinum card if we find the other tower.
Hopefully we don't find the other tower.
Yeah. Where's the squirrel going, everybody? I guess right. Okay.
Wow.
There's Phoenix.
Thank you, Billy.
Oops, I forgot one check. I was like, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, it's like, oh yeah, I did get the squirrel that doesn't want any delicious seeds. Yeah, okay. I deserve that.
Good thing you went back.
Oh yeah, medical herb. Much needed. And we're gonna make the trip to... We'll do Act 3. There's a nice balance, especially item-wise. I should probably talk to both of these before I forget, but...
Yeah, it makes things a little bit awkward if you go to the sea, go to the area you want to go to, and then turns out you haven't talked to one of the statues yet.
Like, you wanted to go here? It's like, yeah? Come talk to me. It's like, oh, okay.
Also, a weird thing that happens in this game in the Rando is you can see that. Oh, look, medical herb. You can see that our hero just took some damage while opening up one of the mermaid statues. It happens, and you could technically die from there if you're low in health because you did whatever, and you talk to that mermaid statue. You can die, and that would be very unfortunate and very silly.
Speaking of death, I'm probably going to be taking another death. On purpose. Because we're going to Durian. Well, we will be going to Durian. We'll do Rockbird first, but I need to talk to you. Hey, another medical herb.
Here we see the bubble armor in action. It's very true to its name.
Just gives me a big bubble. I already talked to that one, Queenie. That's the one that had the mirror. Oh, is there another one there?
Oh, do you mean the one to the left? Yeah, I wasn't sure if you talked to her, but
Did I unlock her?
you did.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll check that.
Yeah, there's also the sleeping dolphin, but you don't have the ghost ship area unlocked yet, so that wouldn't amount to anything right now.
Yeah, if Lou was there, I'd probably talk to him just to... Okay, that's one I definitely didn't want to see. I still don't... Okay, I'm still missing one of the soldiers, though, so we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're referring to that when we talked about the Act 6 boss and how much he's terrible. There is a check underneath the queen. Well, I guess you don't have to fight the boss for it, but it leads more to the, hey, you probably have to do this. And since I have the mobile key already, there's a chance that we have to do it.
Yeah, and it's still an extra cutscene you need to sit through.
Yeah, that's actually a fairly long cutscene, too. in comparison to everything else.
Also interesting to note is that the queen herself can have an item by talking to her, but because the queen moves eventually, there won't ever be a required item on the queen, but she can still have something like the super bracelet. So this area has a lot of monster layers hiding different monster layers, but also a lot of items. So in the end, you can get a ton of checks done over here.
Hey, our first strange bottle.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the reason I decided on Act 3. Both Durian and Rockbird they're pretty heavy on both items and souls, so before going in doing any item checks, it's like, hey, this isn't a terrible idea to go do quickly. Especially just finding the bubble armor, too. Putting them into logic. Rockbird is one that you can, especially at level 20, you can easily get to without having to worry about even using your medical herb unless you stop to also do the monster lair underwater. But just going here, you can easily get to. It's just not in logic. Cook some fish. There hasn't been anything here, though.
Oh, it's been very empty so far.
Oh. I thought for a second, like, oh, okay. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, I also thought, oh, maybe that's the chest of drawers we need. In that room, if you find the chest of drawers, it has actually 2 items, so that would be really good, but unfortunately, no dice.
No.
One check left.
Hey, we have slightly better armor now.
This-
When we're not here.
Yeah, still no sign of the better magic to use. Well, I guess Flame Ball is pretty good, but
Okay,
okay.
never mind.
I was about to talk about the that armor. That is one of the better armors you can get because what it does is if you're at high level, and for this area, Sir Link-a-Lot is in a high level. If you equip the light armor, you will not get damage. You won't be taking damage from any enemy.
I'll show it off in when we actually get on the land.
Also, these enemies are partially metal. If they hide in their shells, you cannot hit them without the Zantetsu's Soul Blade. But whenever they're walking over, that's when you can hit them. So they have a small window of vulnerability.
That's why you saw me change, just so I didn't have to deal with and here they are again. But
Now you're strong enough to kill them anyway.
yeah. Right, well. We know the sleepy soldier doesn't have anything.
Yeah, as you can see, it's important to know which layers you can just skip and which layers you need to do, because there are a lot of layers that will just unlock a shortcut maybe to a previous part. We don't need those. If we just do one trip over to certain areas, there is no need to ever having to go back and using that. And this is the function of the light armor right now. See, no damage is taking. Also good to note that there are a few enemies in this area as well. There's one more area in Act 3 that feature metal apes, metal gorillas. Don't ask why they exist, but they exist. You also need this anti-acid sword for them in this area. The other area, you could also use an item called the Thunder Ring, which is has a very particular usage. It's basically just to kill those enemies in just that one area.
When I was a kid, I got stuck on that point for so long. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I felt like I missed something, and then finally just stumbled upon bringing them to the little pillar when the thunder's going off.
Yeah, that's sometimes the thing with a bit of older games. They expect you to just find out what you need to do, and if it doesn't click, it can take you a long time to progress. Another magic, still no light arrow.
Well, it's like, light arrow would be lovely, but now that it's just like where you really want light arrow, it's like, I won't get it.
No, you kind of already finished the parts where you really, really want to have light arrow, especially the Laynol and Boone area. I don't think you unlocked the boy that blocks the door to that place, did you?
Yeah, not yet. I haven't.
There are 2 checks over there, but we cannot access it yet. We do have a path we can show to the boy once we unlock it, but we have to wait a little bit longer.
Yep. And considering how little's in Act 2, that's probably one of those things. I'm so glad that this was not a one-off, or one that I had to be next to. Have the mermaid tears. That doesn't mean I want to use the mermaid tears.
Yeah, the mermaid. Wow, okay, we have a silver stone. That's good. Now, those mermaids are basically the same as the snails. You can unlock them, and snails race and mermaids dance, but they don't actually do anything.
Everything here that I can do right now. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I gotta go to Act 6. Finally.
Yes, as you can see, the gem count is still 987, and that's because the strange bottle was used up. basically a one-time use. If you use it, if you die and you have it equipped, then you lose it.
Actually, going to go do this first.
We still don't know what's hiding behind the pedestal.
I don't think I have the crocodile or the deer, actually.
No, you're still a ways off. Yeah, so this right tower in the Madrid area is very dense. If you would do everything, you have 7 monster lair NPCs you can unlock and 5 items to check. And because we're looking for items, this is a really good place to try looking for the rest of the zones and the soul armor.
So where you encounter mimics, too.
I don't know if I think we still need 1 soldier.
Nope, I already have the other one.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
I get to make the fun decision. Do I just let Dr. Leo live? Or do I do it anyways?
Also, one thing to note is our hero actually is taking some damage from these enemies. The light armor does not work on the enemies in Act 6. They're just way too tough.
Tease me
Still no.
again.
Still no chest of drawers.
On the bright side, if we see that room again, we know it's the chest of drawers now, though. Alright, chat's calling for me to obliterate Dr. Leo, so... Rest in peace, Dr. Leo. I think I'm gonna skip the boss, though.
Understandable. Uh-oh. We have the big pearl. We have the dolphin, but we don't have the ghost ship area yet, so...
Yeah. Hey, there we go.
At long last. So what you see here in this act is Sir Lancelot just walking through walls, going up the stairs through a wall. Once again, if you play in the vanilla game, you would have unlocked the spirit that helps you see invisible walls and a couple of invisible things in this area. But because Sir Lancelot is a veteran runner, he doesn't need that. He can just walk through.
I did unlock it. I could go do it, but... Gotta show it off. I don't want
Yep.
to bring it. Another item.
Yeah, I think if you would find the other 2 zones right now, that would be a good incentive going back to Act 1. Maybe the goat will help you find the soul armor.
No luck, though. And of course it's mimics. I can't even use magic to try to make this faster. Some story.
Yeah, at least we get the great addition of this cutscene. It's also been changed from the vanilla game. The queen just say, "Whoa, kill its losers." That's just great.
Yeah, for everybody, don't call people losers. It's not very nice.
No, the
And
queen's
definitely
kind
don't
of
take
evil.
people's daughters hostage.
I just wonder where the queen got her.
She found her before me. That's not fair. Yeah, sub 2 is not happening. Sub 2 is a pretty rare thing. You have to have a lot of things go right.
Yeah, that's a bit of the nature of this randomizer. You can just go mode everything at one point, and that would be great, but that's probably like 1 out of, I don't know, like 40 seats maybe. And the rest of it is, yeah.
I think I've subbed 2 like twice. Alright, nothing there though, so... I really don't have a lot still to check. So, and especially considering there's a lot of items down here, we're gonna do the basement.
Yeah, you can find up to 6 items, I think, in here.
Yep. Speaking of items that unlock things, that's a lot in Act 5 now.
Yeah, you can lure away the cats, but I think we're still missing the mouse.
Nope,
there.
I got the mouse.
Oh, you did? Okay, that's
I think
cool.
actually the only
You
one
also
I'm
got
not
the
sure
plant?
about is the chest of drawers in the attic, but if I got that, I can actually go and completely... I missed a layer.
You found the chest of drawers in the attic, I'm sure of that.
Okay, then yeah, we can actually... I'm just gonna skip that.
Yeah, if you also found the plant that's also accessible if you lure away the cats, then yeah, you can just fully clear it.
Yep, so when we're done here, this is definitely a go immediately to Act 5. You had to be those.
So in this McGrid basement area, you also have a couple of invisible walls you can walk through, as well as invisible chests. So having that knowledge is pretty important. There is also a lair that will unlock a crystal with an angel, I guess, is it? And that angel can tell you where you can find the Zantetsu sword. That doesn't happen often. I think it's Zantetsu or Spirit Sword that can be given as information. It's a fairy, alright. It's a fairy. It doesn't happen often, but I've had a seed once where I was here without a Zantetsu sword, and it really helped me.
Alright, I am skipping that.
Are you sure?
I am sure. We will come back to it. I will take the gamble. Oh, darn it. We found Lisa.
That's
No
too
bug
bad.
credits.
At least now I understand where Queen found her.
Yeah, she's just had her in the dungeon this whole time. Here, yeah, here's one of those. There's the power bracelet, so if we didn't have the super bracelet, I would probably be equipping that immediately.
Yeah, level 22 gives a different color to the health bar. It's basically just because they didn't want to add another line for a health bar over there, so they decided to give you a different health color so they know that, okay, you actually are over-healed, basically. You have more than the health shown on screen. Also with level 22, you can swing the recovery sword, but with a lot of spirit enemies in here, it's probably easier to just keep on fighting with the spirit sword.
Yep, that's why I haven't switched.
Also unlock the boy that's blocking a few checks in Act 1, so...
Yep.
Yep, another goat.
I do have that, so we'll check that before we leave Act 6. But yeah, after this, that's one of the reasons why I'm skipping Left Tower, is I have significant amount of checks over in Act 5. Act 1, I have 3 checks now. And considering I'm just looking for items, we're gonna like skip the second half of the...
Yeah, the left tower in Magritte area does not have any item checks. There are no items. You're just going there if you need to unlock NPCs. And even if you do need to unlock NPCs, left tower isn't fun because there are a lot of enemies, a lot of sprites. You have to unlock a pathway to get to the latter stages of that left tower, and it just takes a long time, especially with the lag. It's just kind of horrible.
I don't know how many. We'll check in a second because I'm gonna have to pull the pass out.
I think you have 4 or 3 remaining.
Might actually be. Yeah, it might be 3. Sure, we gotta pull the door key out first.
Oh, actually, you
2.
only need 2.
Gems. I already have the door key out. There's my soul armor.
Hey.
Hey, too far, cats.
Luring the cats away with a bit of catnip.
Don't ask how we fit inside a mouse hole, though. That one I'm not sure about. Alright, so nothing there, though. But still.
Also, a small tip if you're playing the randomizer, whenever an NPC says, "Oh, do you need medical herb, strange bottle," the stuff you get all the time, it's still faster to press yes, I want it, because the text box will be smaller than if you decline.
This is gonna be the last check in Act 5. We'll never have to come back here, and... Cool. Blackstone. So we are... Bluestone to go mode?
I think we only need Bluestone for go mode, yeah. And because we have all of the other items we need with the Soul Armor, Soul Blade, Phoenix, Red Hot items, Talk to the King, we don't actually need to check any of the chests in the World of Evil.
Definitely Bluestone to go.
Now I wonder, are you planning on releasing Lisa or Dream?
No.
I figured.
Definitely not now.
Oh, there we go. Good call.
If I didn't find it in one of the checks, then yeah, I would have. And probably done that since it is an item. It's, you know, out of the way entirely, but...
And then you would never have to come back to Act 1 anyway, so...
there would have been one check. I didn't get, Tool Shop Owner's kit.
Oh, the kid, yeah, because you did have the tulip as well, so...
Yep.
Alright, we're in go mode. We have 6 zones. And now the path to the world of evil will open. We get another bit of awesome music over here.
Yeah, if you thought the music was good, this is like...
So you see that our hero is not level 24 yet, so he cannot swing the Soul Blade. Level 22 though, so a recovery sword is on the table right now, and you could see at that fight just now, he could basically just tank through a bit of damage and heal most of it back, so that's really good.
Of course, they would be at the same time. Yeah, if you don't actually have to check anything, Act 7 goes pretty fast. We've only got a few more screens to go through. And then I just need to grind for 30 seconds. Actually, speaking of that.
Yeah, the threshold needed is actually 420,000 experience points, but this is the part where you just obliterate the enemies for 4,000 XP per wall, basically. Also, I believe these... I'm not sure if they are also in Illusion of Gaia, but they look a bit like the cubes you can find in there. So a lot of small references over the Quintet trilogy. There we go. Also, one thing to note, if you're in this area without the soul armor, every time you see those spirits in the background like this, you take a ton of damage.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, you could actually beat the game without the soul armor. That's the only reason it's needed.
I think you also needed to be able to swing Phoenix, because I think I did power through with a medical herb and trying to get to the end. I wasn't sure if I needed the soul armor, and I had to use it so I could use Phoenix.
Yes, you do.
Alright, in another miss if you blink it moment, that's the first phase of Death Toll down. Swinging Phoenix does require you to use up a bit of gems, 2 gems per hit. You need to kill these 4 blue flames over and over. You don't see a health bar, but I think it's usually about 13 times to hit a lot of Phoenix hits on the boss. You also see the lasers coming down. The most annoying part of those is if you have the lasers on screen while Death Toll is trying to attack you with its flame.
Like that.
Yeah, you hit them with Phoenix. Again, a lot of sprites on screen, so you will be getting a bit of lag. That's why usually if it gets too worse, you see what Sir Lincoln's doing right now. He's waiting with killing the last blue flame until the lasers have come and gone. So he should be fine now.
Time's going to be coming up just pretty much as soon as Death Toll starts exploding. Or his head does. Which shouldn't be too much more, like 2 or 3 cycles, I think.
There we go. GG.
Yeah, that's Soul Blazer Randomizer. Just like starts to go through the credits. You basically go on your world tour back through the acts in reverse order now, so 6 through 1. If we wouldn't have found Lisa, we'd get to the point where you actually start talking to Lisa, even though we've never even really talked to her. We just kind of ran away from her when her dad died. And you just kind of sit there where her bed should be, and you can actually walk around Act 1. Like, nothing's wrong, but it would never actually get to the final part of the credits.
Yeah, this has been a good run. I think it's very representative of what you can expect from a Soul Blazer randomizer run. In this case, we had a lot of good NPC checks and NPC unlocks done early, but then we had a big item hunt at the end. Sometimes it's that part. Sometimes you have items, but you don't have the NPCs. But yeah, I think we saw a lot of the game as well, so that's really good.
Yeah, only things that skipped. Let's see, Ghost Ship, Blester, Left Tower. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think this is as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than stuff that was like behind NPCs, like we unlocked Lisa, but we didn't check. I mean, that's just still in the second part of Underground Castle. But yeah, other than that,
Yeah, it was a good run. And
yeah, it had a potential to be nasty. If I would have got that super bracelet, that would have been kind of a nasty seed. But
yeah, because he didn't have armor until the longest time, and it wasn't the best armor, so it was good that he found the super bracelet early and made good use of it.
yeah, super bracelet and spirit sword kind of carried me through the very early parts. So that's thankful, yeah, because some of the times you have to deal with going into like Act 2, Act 3 with nothing but Sword of Life, and that's it. So you gotta kind of be careful a little bit when that happens.
Yeah, certainly. I also see someone in chat saying that the game's credits are long. Love them, Shiner. That is very true. There's also one more difference if we get to that point in the credits. If you actually see a rendition of Lisa, then she looks different in the English version compared to the Japanese version. It's if you're interested, you can look it up online. It's a very noticeable difference. Where apparently maybe they thought the Japanese version was a bit too anime, so they made it more look like, I don't know, it looks a bit more rough around the edges to me if you play the English version. Yeah, that's also a small difference. Fun bit of knowledge.
It's okay, dang. I know we started a little bit late because the last one ended at just kind of like right on time. So I know we kind of we were a little bit faster, so we kind of put us all on time. So yeah, that's Soul Blazer Randomizer. I think we got. I'm probably gonna butcher the name, but Faxanadu. I think I butchered the heck out of that.
Faxanadu or Fazanadu. I'm not sure which pronunciation it is.
That's next though. So yeah, did I know? Yeah, okay. Like saw Sonny Wrath, you put little thing if you enjoyed seeing it and you want to play it yourself. We've got a website, got a Discord. Come check it out. If you have any questions, post them in the Discord. We've got a bunch of friendly people that would be more than happy to help. We run a weekly seed. Starts I believe 11 a.m. Eastern time is when it gets posted, and you have until like Monday to run it. So